Good day, everybody. This is John Hester here. I'm at Hester's Motorsports in Raton, New Mexico, and I am showing off this brand new 2025 model that Kawasaki came out with. So this is a new machine, never before seen as far as mid-size class. Brute Force 450 ATV 2025 model. Here it is in October of 2024, so these are just starting to hit dealers now. And I wanted to do a little walk around video and get you some details, some specs, you know, some nice basic information. Of course, you can see everything on Kawasaki.com. Visit your local dealer. It comes in white and a grayish blue in color, both the same price. The MSRP is $66.99, and currently, as of right now, they have a $300 little bonus, introductory bonus that they are doing for this model, dropping it down to $63.99 until December 31st of 2024. So if you're watching this video and it's past December 31st, 2024, check with your dealer at current prices, current any sales, anything like that. So this is just as it is right now, the first week of October in 2024. So here we go. So this machine, it's a 443cc engine, produces 32 horsepower, 23 foot-pounds of torque. I'm sorry, 24 foot-pounds of torque. 24, I think it's 24.3 to be exact, but I'm just keeping round numbers here so it's easy to remember. 24 foot-pounds of torque. It has very good power. That is more than enough power for this size of machine, this class of machine, and it does really well. So I drove it around a little bit, did some acceleration pulls, went up to 50 pretty good. I don't know what its top speed is right now because it's still a new machine, but still breaking in and all that. So I didn't want to just ragtag it until it just wouldn't pull no more. So it'll do north of 50, I'll tell you that, and it'll get up there pretty quick. So it does very, very good in the horsepower and torque department. CVT, so you have a constant continuous velocity transmission, and it has high range, low range, neutral, and reverse. Here is the shift lever on that. So you can see it's marked on top, and it's also marked on the bodywork as well. So there you go. And very reminiscent of the older Articat body style on how this is. So just straight into high, up over into low. It shifts like butter. Very, very easy. Did a good job on that there. You have very smooth power delivery with a good engine braking, but it's not so much engine braking that it wants to like lunge you forward as soon as you let off the gas. So it has a very, very smooth engine braking. Clutching, they did a really good job. It's very, very smooth. You just breathe on the throttle and it's very smooth, very progressive, has a nice clutching setup to it. I didn't pull one of these apart, so at this time I don't have the absolute specific details on the CVT, what it looks like, what do I think, how durable it is. I can't tell you that right now because we didn't tear into one of these. This is mainly just, let's get it out here, get the information that people are going to start asking for and looking for, and then we'll go from there. So this machine has all your basic amenities to it, without all the high dollar frills, keeping that cost, that $66.99 MSRP, down. So it's a very competitive price. You're right in the hunt with just about anybody in the same equal class. So the Yamaha 450, Honda, well, actually I think it's quite a bit better price than the Honda with more features to it. I mean, if you compare the Honda, exact same features, the Honda's definitely going to cost more than this, for sure. You have to look at the cheapest Honda with solid axle and all that other stuff to be able to get into this price range. Just completely stripped down, 80s technology type stuff, drum brakes. You'd have to get all that on a Honda. So you're going to get so much more out of this Brute Force than a Honda, equal price point. Okay, You have to step up to a higher model Honda 420 AT, automatic transmission, 4-wheel independent, all that stuff in order to get into this, and then you're way over this price range. So keep that in mind. Now this machine, it does have a very nice bodywork to it. They did a good job. They you know, made it look exactly like the Brute Force 750. Just somebody I think Drew from Despicable Me hit it with a slight shrink ray on it, so it's just a little bit smaller than a Brute Force 750, just giving it that size and scaling to it. Very bright LED lights, and it does have the handlebar light, which is on high beam. So you have high beam and low beam here, high beam only right there. You have dual disc brakes in the front, single disc brake in the rear. So let's go over here, and this is very, very common setup. So you have the one disc on the left side there, no disc on the right. So this is a very common setup with pretty much everybody. I mean, if they got a disc on it, it's really just one in the rear. You have a rear brake here, a front brake here, and your rear brake on your foot. So you have a foot brake and a hand brake. Your left hand are your rear brakes. This is your front brake. Throttle, gas. Just sit up on it here. It does have a very plush, very cush seat on it, so that's very nice. The 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. I'm going to turn the dash on here just so you can kind of see that. Please forgive me if the white bodywork has such a white background to it, it's hard to see. So I forget, you know, please forgive me on that. So you got all the basics, but it is pretty small. I think they should have done a much bigger. I think most everybody else in this class is going to be a much bigger LCD display, but it does have everything. You got fuel gauge, what gear position, RPM, speed, clock, stuff like that. So odometer, so you can kind of keep track of most everything like that. It's a dual switch key, so you have just first switch is on, second switch is on, lights are on. So this is your lights, this is no lights. Then you have 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive on the fly, so you can be driving along, let go of the throttle, put it into 4-wheel drive. This engages the front differential, but now you have an open diff in the front. Basically, it'll transfer power left to right as it sees fit. You need full lock, you come to a dead stop, you flip this over into lock, and then there you go. Now you have true full lock 4-wheel drive, locked 100% to all 4 tires until you take it out. Now, great system. Kawasaki's always, you know, always done really well with that. This, if I was to have a gripe in this scenario, it is this button situation, because you have it in lock, but okay, now this is nitpicking. This is just me nitpicking. Nothing wrong with it, but you could hit this button, nothing's gonna happen. Nothing happens. But if you have this button out, like you hit it on accident or whatever, and then you hit to unlock, it goes diff lock, and then your 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, it's like bang, you know what I mean? And you want to give the gears enough time to switch from one to the other. So it's always best 4-wheel drive, diff lock, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, okay? So that's how you want to work it correctly to increase all that. Now, if you're going along and you have it like this, and then you hit that button and say, oh man, I messed up, and you're still driving and you go like that, you could be welcomed by a nice clunk in the front end as everything just kind of blang, and then it goes from full diff lock to 2-wheel drive. So keep that in mind. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that when you're in diff lock, that you go regular 4-wheel drive, then to 2-wheel drive. Give it some time, and then it's up on the dash here, so I'm going to show you. So right up here, you're going to see, so you can hear it engage, 4-wheel drive, and then diff lock, right? 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. There you go. Simple as that. Now you have your park and brake right here. which is nice. Some people hate it, some people don't like it. This is exactly like what the Brute Force 300 from Kawasaki has. Some people, like I said, some people like it, some people hate it. I mean, it's in the way, so you can tell it's in the way. You have to actually, you know, you can still hit the start button and all that, but I mean, it's in the way. You have to physically, like, completely be oblivious to this lever being out if you're trying to take off with it, okay? So the nice thing about that is it helps, it helps you notice that it is there, so that way you don't take off with the parking brake. So you could start it, bam, there you go, and see I'm starting to roll. Now, I am on a slope right here, so it does kind of exacerbate the frontward lean angle of this machine. It does kind of arrow down in the front, so I'm going to get you a side profile here. Let me turn the camera. Okay, so there we go. There's straight. So you can tell that this has a downward angle, and the back also has a downward angle facing that. Now, not that big of a deal. It just kind of gives it as kind of a squash front end. If you ask me, I would have liked to have seen this level and the front end up a little bit more, just to give it that higher profile look to it and a flatter, you know what I mean? But that's me. These are my nitpicks, so keep in mind there's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to hinder anything. You have 75 pounds in the front load capacity and 150 pounds in the rear load capacity, with 1,050 pound towing capacity on a 2-inch receiver hitch right from the get-go. So very nice that they did that instead of the ball hitch like most other Japanese manufacturers do. Now, let's get this out of the way. It is a Kawasaki product. It's designed and engineered basically by Kawasaki, but it is built just like the Brute Force 300, just like the Kawasaki Mule Pro MX. It is built by Kemco in Taiwan. Okay? So just keep in mind, being truthful here, I like to be factual. Is that anything wrong with it? No. Look at the Brute Force 300. It has been made by Kemco for years. Excuse me. It has been made by Kemco for years, and they're bomb proof. I mean, they're very, very bulletproof. Look at the Mule Pro MX, made by Kemco since 2019. 5 years, hardly have any problems. They're very good. So don't let that deter you, because honestly, name me one manufacturer that doesn't subcontract out either parts or an entire vehicle to another smaller manufacturer, so that way they can get the price down more. Name me one. I can tell you pretty much everybody does. So I just want to get that out of the way straight first and foremost. Tire size. You have a 24-inch tall tire, front and rear, on this machine. So you got 24.8 in the front, 24.11 in the rear. It is a nice tread pattern. I think they did very good on the tread. Instead of just a same old looking, it is a Maxxis tire. The model number is an MU905. But anyways, if I can say a gripe, once again, here's John being nitpicky. It's a good tire, but it's not a great tire, okay? It is a 2-ply. These are 2-ply, which is pretty much par for the course on most manufacturers, definitely Japanese manufacturers. You look at a Yamaha, 2-ply. You look at a Honda, 2-ply. You look at a Suzuki, 2-ply. You look at the lower end Polarises and Can-Ams, 2-ply. You look at, like the Can-Am 450 that this would compare with, the Can-Am 450 non-power steering, just their base, all around, good ATV. It's got 2-plies. Black steel wheels, it doesn't have aluminum wheels. These are things that could be upgraded. You can make it whatever you want. You can customize it, you can personalize it. It has some good room on it. I would say 27, maybe 28 would be pushing it on this machine on a tire size. 27 would probably be a good size. Then you're not getting so overbearing on the gear ratio and stuff like that. Now, you do have a cup holder here. Forgot to mention that when I was sitting on it. So you got a cup holder, little cubby right there. DC power outlet right here. Underneath the seat, you do have a storage deal. This is a bit weird. I don't know why they did it like this, but you take these two screws out, and you got your toolkit right here. Take these two screws out. It's got a big old cargo compartment right underneath here. Little cubby here, little cubby there. So there you go on that. Let me put this back on. Your battery is down over yonder. Battery's in here. Right rear side. Nice floorboards, good protection. You can see the tires are inboard. Good mud protection, so it's going to have good coverage. And the suspension is really plush. I mean, it's hard for me to, you know, push on it and show you. So let me try to get back here. I'm gonna try to get back here as best I can. Now, of course, I got the brake on, so that's not fair. You could hear me. You could hear me tweaking on the brake. I don't want to undo it because it. Let me push down on the front here. I mean, it's pretty plush, and it does have a 5-way preload adjustment, front and rear, 4-wheel independent suspension, 9.3 inches of factory ground clearance on it. Center mounted exhaust right there. The exhaust is well underneath the seat and everything, so that way you keep up on that. It has 7.6 inches of wheel travel in the front, 7.9 inches of wheel travel in the rear. The fuel capacity is 40. It's a 40 gallon tank. No, it's a 4.2 gallon fuel tank on here, regular unleaded fuel. And its curb weight, which is full of fuel, fluids, you know, oil, coolant, everything like that, it's liquid cooled, is 680 pounds, 600, something like that, around 680 pounds. Like I said, that exact specific detail will be on Kawasaki.com. You got tail lights, brake lights, all that stuff there. Now, what do I think of it? Oh, I forgot to show you. Your oil filter is right there on the front of the engine, so it's easy to get to. Right here it's definitely best from the left-hand side, but bam, right there's easy to get to. But you'll want to put a rag or something underneath it because it will, you know, spill oil down on your skid plate there. So just something to look at right there. Now, what do I think about it? Okay, what do I think about it? Not as a dealer, okay? This is my honest opinion. Like all my reviews do, I will give the good with the bad, what I think. It's very good all around ATV. Very good. Good power, good handling. It does not come with power steering, but they did a good job on the steering geometry, and it's actually pretty dang light. Pretty dang light. I would probably put this on par with a Honda 420 ES power steering model. Even out here, like on asphalt and everything, I can turn it with one hand. Now in diff lock, it's going to be a lot harder. It's chewing, you know, it's got lots of traction. So yeah, it's not going to have as much power potential that an EPS model would have. But EPS model is going to be over $1,000 more. You're going to be getting close to the $8,000 mark on a machine with the power steering. So keep that in mind. But it is very easy to steer. The seat is very plush. I mean, super thick, super plush. But you have to, I'm 6 foot tall, and I have to basically dang near be touching the gas tank to be in a comfortable position of the handlebars. I think, now this is, keep in mind, personal preference. I think the handlebars should be up a little bit and back a little bit. So I think if they just put a longer handlebar and then let it roll back a little bit and come up, I think it would be perfect as far as that. Now, this is me nitpicking. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. But that's just something that I noticed. It just, I felt like my arms were always fully extended to reach the handlebars, which makes a difference when turning, because then you really have to lean forward to turn. So that's little things to keep in mind. But like I said, it turns easy, it rides nice, very plush suspension. I hit some curbs and just, I mean, I'm not jumping it, but I'm just kind of go up to a curb and just kind of boink, boink, just kind of see how it absorbs just little square-edged hits, like if I was hitting a rock going up a trail, and it absorbed it really good. It did really good. So that was nice. I think the power is good. It's more than adequate. Power is good. Speed is good. Seat is plush. Steering is light. Very bright lights. It's got very bright lights. I mean, that's 5 already right there. Very smooth CVT. Consistent CVT. And I say consistent because from creeping super slow to hammering it and letting it pull, it did everything really good. Okay, so it did everything really good. Price point is very good. Rack space is very good. Cup holder has got very bright lights, like I said, very bright lights. I'm fishing here trying to find anything I could nitpick. Okay, so that just goes to show you that it's all around, it's a very solid machine. It's going to do everything good. It's a good price point. It's well manufactured. I think the biggest thing is that it rides nice. It has great power. I mean, it gets up, like I said, I got up to 50 in less than a block. Seriously, I mean, if you want to drag race, buy the Brute Force 750, and then there you go. You're competing with 1000s on drag race acceleration. Okay, so yeah, I think my total thoughts, I think this is going to be a great machine. I got this. We just got this white one. I do have the light, the grayish blue Cumming steel. So I'll have both of them in stock and on our website at www.hester-motorsports.com. I've got Brute Force 750 in stock. I've got some 50s and 90s in stock. But yeah, I think this Brute Force 450, thank you, Kawasaki. It only took you 20 years. I'm sorry. I'm being ignorant right there. But when Kawasaki does something, they put their name on it. They're going to make sure it's good. Oh yeah, the standard 1-year factory warranty on. That's pretty much what the industry staple is. That benchmark is a 1-year factory warranty, and then you could buy an extended warranty on that too. So Kawasaki's definitely legendary in their warranty coverage, what they'll cover for you. So very good company. Everything well made, well manufactured. Brakes are good. Engine braking is good. I mean, the engine braking, like I said, is really good. The only time you really need to grab the brakes is if you're hauling down from a fast rate of speed and you need to come to a stop really quick. Other than that, I just let go of the throttle and it just came down in speed and did it well. So give you a full 360 degree here. I think it's going to be a good machine. Now, that is the review of the Brute Force 750 2025, or 450, sorry. I'm so used to saying the 750 because it's only been a 750 since, before 2012. So, before 2010. But yeah, they haven't had a well, like the 360 was way back then, 15 years or so. And this is a whole different world than the old 360 was. So very thankful for that. Very nice machine. Now, If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell us what you think below. What do you think about this machine? What do you like? What do you don't like? And let's go over that and see what you all think. I do have a video. We are a Kawasaki and CF Moto dealer, and I will have a side-by-side comparison review against two models of the CF Moto, a C-Force 400, which is more of a closer fit to this one, and then the C-Force 500. So I will have some review videos side by side talking about, since I sell both, I'm comparing them both, and it's great for my customers because right there they get to see them side by side without ever walking into the dealership. So I can just link them over a video and say, here you go, pick which one you want, we'll get it ready to go. So there you have it, the 2025 Brute Force 450. Thank you all for watching. God bless. Have yourself a wonderful day.